Welcome to the Consult Before the Cut, your go-to podcast for all things anti-aging, aesthetics, and plastic surgery. I'm Dr. Jonathan Weiler, a board-certified plastic surgeon with over 15 years of experience.
I am Taylor Besh, physician's assistant and expert injector at Weiler Plastic Surgery.
And I'm Brittany DeSherry, nurse and COO over at Rejuvime Medical. Each week, we'll dive deep into the latest trends, expert insights, and real stories from the world of beauty and wellness. So grab a seat at the consult room and let's discover the secrets of timeless beauty together.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Consult Before the Cut. We are here. We're kind of excited. We're going to introduce our guest in just a moment. Before we do that, I would like to thank Rejuvime Medical, the age-defying clinic, for making this be able to happen. Here, they are your go-to for all things hormone replacement therapy, GLP-1s, peptides, that longevity medicine that we're looking for to keep us young and spry and going. Also doing some aesthetic injectables all over the state of Louisiana, from north to south, now to east to west, and even in Mississippi and D'Iberville. We would also like to thank Weiler Plastic Surgery Group, Louisiana's largest plastic surgery group with 5 board-certified plastic surgeons, a whole amazing group of expert injectors led by the one and only Taylor Besh. And then also all of your estheticians to keep that skin glowing, that body going, and being the best version of you. So I'd like to thank both of them for helping us out, bringing us into the 2026.
Yep.
Bringing us in. Okay, so today I'm going to go ahead, let y'all know what we're kind of getting into. This is the color. Color your rainbow. Finding your true colors, which I started singing I see your true color earlier. But color analysis, this is huge right now. Like, it's all over everything. And we have with us today an expert in color analysis. Rachel is joining us, and we are so excited. Okay, we're so excited about
Rachel
this.
Cannon in the house. This is such an honor.
We have been talking about this. I mean, gosh.
Yeah.
For a while.
For a while.
I want
Forever.
you to just give us a little background on you. Tell us who Rachel Cannon is in Baton Rouge. Give us a little history.
So I am actually a licensed interior designer, and I own Rachel Cannon Limited Interiors. And I am obsessed with color, and it's probably what our firm is known best for, is our use of color. And so last year, I had my own personal color analysis done, and I was intrigued by it because I was like, I feel like there's a lot of like crossover between the principles that are involved in this and what I do. So I decided over the summer, I was like, I think I'm going to get certified to do that. And so I just did it. I got certified to be a color analysis expert, and so here I am.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Where does one do that?
So I took an online course.
Okay.
In fact, funny story, the course that I took, in fact, when I say there was overlap, there was so much overlap that like the 4 first modules that I was going to take, I literally emailed them and I was like, hey, can I just skip these? Because I did all of this in design school, like paint the grayscale and watercolor. I was like, I can literally pull them out from under my bed and I can turn them in as assignments. Like, I'm not going to They were like, sure, yeah, skip them. That's fine. So I was like,
great.
awesome. Yeah. So it was an online course, and I did research all the different, like there's a lot of new ones that are kind of popping up every day. And so what I liked about this one specifically is that it was the most like the color training that I got in college, which is color is a science. Like, there's no doubt about it. Like, I know a lot of people think this is kind of like oh, that's so cute and fun and design and decorating and color analysis. Oh, how sweet. But like, it's business. It's business. It's science. It's, it's a real thing. So I liked that it was very anchored in all of those same principles that I learned in design school.
I love that.
How long have you been in design?
This will be 22 years this year. Wow. Yeah.
My goodness.
I know. And I've owned my firm it'll be 17 years this year.
No way.
Fun.
So fun. And have you ever seen homes that she's designed?
Yes.
Okay, exactly
because
what
I follow
she
you on
said.
Instagram.
Thank you.
Pops of color.
Yeah.
No, like plain Jane neutral. It is like a statement in every room.
Yeah.
It is. You can tell that you've been involved with a home.
Thank you.
I went, so random. I went like a month ago to somebody's house in my neighborhood. She was having like a closet sale and was getting rid of gowns. And I went to get my mom a gown. And so she sent me into this room.
I feel like I know which room it was.
To change,
Was
to
it
try
purple?
on this dress. It was purple.
Yeah.
And I came out of the room and I'm like, did Rachel Cannon have anything to do with this room? She's like, The whole room. She did it. The specific room, like, oh my gosh, so good.
You're like, oh, that checks.
Yes,
That checks.
yes,
That
makes
absolutely
sense.
checks.
It was fabulous.
I think that people are scared of color too.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people are scared
Right.
of color.
Well,
And,
I
like,
wouldn't say that. I would say I'm comfortable with white.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Is
Comfortable
that the
with
same?
neutrals?
With neutrals.
Right.
It's just like easy and comfortable
Is
rather
your
than
house white?
yes. Stark white. All neutral, all white couch, white. Which is boring probably
Right.
if you would be like, what the heck?
I don't make a judgment
But
unless you're paying me.
yeah.
Meanwhile, in her head, she's like, "You're right."
No, I really.
Sure.
I,
Like, white
listen,
Taylor.
I was one of the first ones championing all white interiors when I first got out of design school because we were stuck in the Tuscan era back
Yes.
then.
Okay.
And it was such a palette cleanser. And so I don't know. It's cyclical. Everything
Yeah.
comes in and go. You know, it all
What's
comes
new
back
is old,
around.
what's
That's
old is
right.
new.
Yeah.
Right?
I
Just
gotta
kinda
love a
rotates around.
wallpaper.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
You love what?
Wallpaper.
a wallpaper.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Now
And
with like
I-
all the custom printing and all that, right? You can custom print
Yes.
wallpaper. It's crazy.
You can.
So fun.
And I remember like when we when Josh and I bought the house that we lived in before the house that we are in now, and I just remember tearing down this god awful wallpaper, and I was like, I will never put wallpaper in this ever. Wallpaper is the worst. We built our house. I'm like, we should put wallpaper in here. This will look great.
Everywhere.
With wallpaper. Guess what? We
I
have
do have
wallpaper
to
now.
say, in defense of wallpaper, it really does come down to the installation. If it is installed correctly, it will come off in a single sheet just like it goes up.
Okay, well, in 1932,
It wouldn't matter.
they were
Yeah.
not.
It wouldn't matter.
Like they
It
were
wouldn't matter.
not. They
If
were.
they had
They were putting
known-
horse glue
They
up there.
just super glued that to the wall at
No,
that point.
our
I was
installer,
like,
our
oh,
suite installer that we
God.
work with, she hears this all the time, and she like they will routinely go back to houses that they've put wallpaper in to like change the
Yeah.
wallpaper out, and she just pulls
Oh,
off the
it's
wall in a
amazing.
single because it was installed correctly.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was not the 1931. Oh, it was.
So
it was like
do you
grounds
know
for
the
divorce.
history of color analysis? Like how long has this been
I'll
around?
be honest with you, I don't really. I remember that like I'm old, so my mom had this done in the 80s, and I
did.
remember her like being told what her colors were. They were wrong, by the way. But I also think it's more nuanced now than it used to be. I
Yeah.
think you were either a spring, a winter, a fall, or a summer. That was it. And so now I use a 16 sort of season thing. So it's much more nuanced now. But I mean, it's at least that old, the 80s.
Yeah.
I would imagine
Yeah.
it might have started in the 70s. I honestly really don't know. No.
Do your colors change ever? No.
Nope.
Just kind of like the same.
So somebody asked me this the other day. Actually, it was Lauren Bailey Pollard that owns, or I may get her name mixed up. She owns Edit. And I did a little class for her over the Christmas holiday, and she was asking that same question. Like, well, so but when you get older and your hair turns white, do your colors change? And I'm like, no. And that's why we cover your hair when we do your analysis, because your hair could be the wrong, like you may color your hair and it may actually be the wrong color for your features.
Yeah.
And so that's why we cover it. And we also cover like everything up to your chin because we don't want to be distracted by other things. And it's really funny. Like we did, everybody in the office got their colors done the day I got certified. So like we did Brandon's, we did Mia's, we did Riley's. And so it was funny because Mia, who works for us, had just gotten highlights and she had, never done anything with her hair, and she's got amazing, thick, beautiful hair. And we did her color analysis, and like I pulled the little bonnet off, and I was like, "Ooh, we got to talk about these highlights." I was like, "These are the wrong." She's like, "I know, they're too orange."
That's it. I mean, like, that's what would be my fear. I'd be like, wait, hair done. Wait a second.
My whole
But the
wardrobe.
thing is-
I would be like, oh
Well,
God.
that's true. The thing is, if you know your colors, you listen. You can wear whatever you want, do your hair how you can do it. You can get your colors done and never use any of that information. But it's the difference between somebody saying to you, like, if you pick a beautiful gown for an event and people tell you, "Oh my God, your gown is stunning," versus "You look amazing." It's the difference. Like your gown may be a beautiful, gorgeous color that is very attractive and striking, but the gown is the feature, not you. That's kind of the difference.
This is when you were mean to me.
Mean to you.
Remember, I told him before we started this, I was like, you remember when we were talking about your gown for Best Dressed? And you were like, it is like orange. Like, it is orange. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, orange. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I would never be able to do that. He's like, you're right. You would never look good. He was like, you would not look good in hot orange. I was like, thanks. Thanks. But Taylor's going to look amazing in hot orange. I'm like,
Oh, I mean, orange. It was kind of daring.
It
was daring.
It was daring, but in that instance, so this is also things that they cover in color analysis when you're being trained, is like there may be instances where you are the focal point in a room and people are not going to be right up on your face to see your features. And so even if that wasn't in your palette, that probably was a good call for that night because you're on stage and you're kind of the center of attention and you need to pull focus.
Yeah.
Or if you're like a speaker at a conference and maybe you're in autumn, but you want to wear hot pink, that's okay because you need to be kind of the focal point.
It's a theater.
Yeah, people couldn't
Exactly.
Theater, right?
That's right. Yeah.
People couldn't miss it.
It's an act. It's like our lives. It's an act.
Okay, so I wanted to common misconceptions of
Where
color
are
analysis.
you at?
So Rachel's approach, seeing color is energy and harmony,
Not rules.
rules.
See, this
So
is-
color analysis is definitely, they talk about harmony a lot when you're being trained. Now, it completely made sense to me because you talk about harmony a lot when you're in design school as well. And so there are principles and elements of design, and harmony is a principle of design. And so your all white home, there's probably a lot of harmony in there, which is probably why it makes sense to you because it probably brings you some level of peace. So it's the same concept where if all of the colors, your hair, your skin, your clothing are all kind of like harmonizing, you just present better. That's why I say it's not rules, because you may find out you don't like the colors that you get in your season, but it's wear what you want. If you feel like you look your best in a red that's not in your palette, wear the red because whatever you're channeling energy-wise is what you're going to project.
It's going to like shine through.
Yes. You may not get any compliments that day, but
May not
you're going to
look-
feel great.
You may not look very good.
You look like a dead fish, but your outfit
But you felt
is
great.
amazing.
Your energy.
Yeah. Okay, but it goes back to confidence. If you're
Yes.
confident and you're feeling it,
Right.
that's going to exude some type of good energy.
I mean, with our new teeth.
rather
Well,
than
I do think that's true because, like, some people, and I see all types of characters, right? Some people dress like they look like a clown, but that's their persona. Does that make sense? And like,
Yeah.
not a clown, but let me say,
feel
but
like
like,
this is geared towards
no,
you, Jay.
I get no, Happy Mardi Gras, no, but not. I mean, I guess clown, but you know what I'm saying? Like they're bold, they're bright,
Yeah.
they're and that's their personality. Is that what they? You put that on somebody else, and you're like, oh, that's a horrible outfit.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's a horrible outfit, but they makes them work
Yeah.
because they're energetic and
Right.
and they shine through. Their
Yeah.
energy is good,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They're breaking the rules, and it works.
I will say there is a little bit of that as well, where, and we'll go through it whenever we do the little mock color analysis, but after your consult, you do get either a card with your colors on it or a little wallet. And there is a description in the front that talks about like sort of the essence of what all of these seasons are. And like 99% of the time, as I'm reading the card to the person, it's like I'm describing the person. Like,
Oh, wow.
It's crazy. Like
That's cool.
When I did mine and I found out that I was a spring, she started reading off all of these things and I was like, oh my God, did you like follow me around and like write down everything I did for a week? Because that sounds like you're like describing my personality. It's really kind of strange. I think there's only been one time that it was kind of like, not really,
Yeah.
but these are your colors. Like,
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't know what it is. It's just kind of an interesting little
That is
footnote.
neat.
No, I
Like,
agree.
that's neat.
but I agree with you. If someone's personality is kind of like big and over the top, if they're going to be in all gray, it's not going to make
Right.
sense. It's not their vibe,
right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So is this like skin? Or are we, when you say like the features and stuff like that, I mean, are we talking about like skin, color, undertones, how you look? Like what is
a color
What is
analysis?
making it go like that's my color?
So this is what takes me back to design school. So we actually brought color wheels if I can demonstrate. But
Oh my God, you can
so
do
we
it.
talk about like tints versus tones, which is like the lighter versus the darker. So the more white a color has, the more of a tint it is, the more black it has, the more of a shade it is. So depending on your natural skin tone, so you do your color analysis with no makeup, no skin, no self tanner, no nothing. Depending on the natural undertones and value of your skin, some colors are naturally going to bring out your best features and other colors are going to bring out features you don't want to highlight. So when we did Brandon's analysis, who's our model today, we were kind of switching between colors and we did it online. And it's actually kind of interesting because when you do it online, you can almost tell even more on the computer screen than you can in person because the lighting kind of shifts. And
Can't hide, right?
Yeah.
Right, you can't hide. And so the woman who was kind of the proctor for my exam, she was so funny. She's Canadian and very to the point. And so we had like this olive green color on him. And she goes, oh my God, horrible, take it off. I'm like, oh, okay. And then we like put the right color on him and you're like, oh, well, now that you say that, like I
it
see.
is gross.
And it's things like your nasolabial folds or like bags under your eyes or like redness or ruddiness or anything that's just like, the things that you probably are going to cover up with makeup. It's not that you don't need makeup. You probably will still want to put some makeup on, but if you had to run out of the house and you threw on a sweatshirt that was in one of your colors, you may not feel so bad that day leaving the house without makeup.
How crazy.
I know.
Okay, we need a break really quick.
Okay,
So
let's
take
do
us
it.
to break, and then let's bring on
All right, guys.
our
Let's
model.
do it.
Okay.
I'm excited.
We're going to do it. We're going to see how we're going to see it. Everybody stick around, okay? We're going to see how we're going to do it. We have Brandon here with us, and we're going to bring on, do his little colors, and it's going to be on screen, so it's got to be like, and so stick around. We'll be right back.
My name is Casey. I live in Hammond, Louisiana. As I was approaching my 30s, I started to notice a few wrinkles here and there. I just wasn't happy, so I decided to make a step to change it. I've always known of Dr. Weiler's practice, and that was always my first choice. The first time I've ever been here, I was a little nervous, but once I got there, everyone was very welcoming, made me feel at place, and it's made me look visibly younger. I have more of a confidence boost. I feel better about myself and in my own skin.
My name is Amber. I'm from Gum Springs, Louisiana, and I'm currently on semaglutide. I started my weight loss journey a few years prior and just kind of struggled with getting to like that final weight loss goal. I decided to get on semaglutide because I was really working towards like those last 20 pounds. Working with Rejuvime is so simple. When you really have that person that's like in your corner, like they're cheering you on, they want to see you hit those goals. I feel like I'm healthier, I'm at that wonderful weight. I just feel really confident, feel comfortable in my skin.
Okay, everyone, welcome back, welcome back. Okay, all right, so now we've got Brandon.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome, Brandon.
Welcome, Brandon. I was saying, he looks like
an
a girl
Amish
with a
nun.
pearl
We pulled him in
earring.
from Europe.
The painting. That's what he looks like. The painting. I love it. Okay, so Brandon you have done this.
I have.
Yes.
This is going to be good.
Yeah.
So we are about to see the wow
But
factor.
we have never witnessed this.
No,
Yes.
I'm so excited.
And we have no idea what's
I'm
about
so
to
excited.
happen.
Yeah, so Rachel's going to break it down kind of the very basics, and then she's going to do an expedited format on Brandon because we don't have an hour. You don't want to sit here and watch this for an hour. So just introduce what the heck color analysis is. Kind of take us through your spiel.
So the main thing people think about in color analysis is, are you cool versus warm? And that is the start of it because you would have cool seasons versus warm seasons. So your cool seasons are going to be winter and summer, and your warm seasons are going to be spring and autumn. Now, those are the basic 4, but we actually have 16 different how I can type you. And that all has to do with, it gets more nuanced, the intensity of like what kind of colors you can carry. Can you carry a bright neon hot pink, or are you more of a baby pink? Because that has to do with your intensity.
So those are subsets of the
Yes, exactly.
Break
So
those
you
down.
can
Okay.
be, your home season can be summer, but you could actually be a light summer, or you can be home season spring and actually be a bright spring. So there's kind of some wiggle room in there. Where it gets a little confusing for most people is if you're only thinking about cool versus warm colors, this is just a basic color wheel. We all kind of know that like greens and blues and purples are cool, and then everything on this side is going to be considered warm. Where it gets weird is right here, where you get green, yellow, and purple, red. These can kind of go either way. And that's where we kind of start to lean more on the value and intensity. So the closer you get to the center of this little circle, it's white. That means it's a tint. The further out you get, that means the more saturated it is. That means it's going to be more of a really, like when people say jewel tones, we're really talking about everything that's on the outside of this.
Jewel tone.
So when we do color analysis, and like we said, we're going to have to like expedite this whole demonstration today, but if you have your color analysis done, please don't be upset if you don't like your colors, because you have permission to wear whatever you want to wear. But it is not uncommon for you to start to realize that you don't actually like the way you look in the colors that you used to love, because Brandon is a perfect example of that. So I'm showing you now. This was one of the colors he loved to wear a lot before he had color analysis done. This is actually an autumn color. Okay. Brandon is a summer. And so when we remove this color, this is a much better color for him. That's because he has a cool undertone, and he's not a deep contrast kind of person. So somebody who has an autumn coloring is going to be someone typically with like more striking features. Like you'll notice their eyes from across the rim. Well, his eyes are beautiful blue eyes.
Striking eyes.
Yes,
Striking eyes.
but they're not a deep, dark eye, that kind of thing.
Right.
So other colors that summers cannot wear are going to be things like this kind of chartreuse. This is a cool color. A lot of people are really like attracted to this color.
Right.
A better color for a summer is going to be something like this periwinkle. And he has a little periwinkle t-shirt that he wears sometimes that like that's the day that you actually can see his eyes from across the room. So let me drape him with this. Sorry, there's going to be some lull while I
Yeah, that's okay.
drape.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Vamp, do something.
This is it.
Okay, so this is one of his best colors.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Look at his eyeballs.
Yeah.
Look at there, Brandon.
And look how bright his
Look
teeth
at
look.
Yeah.
And then this is not one of his colors
And
at all.
this is not.
Not. So
Yeah.
typically
Not
it
really.
starts to bring out
It
ruddiness.
mutes his
Yes.
eyes. It mutes his features.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you start to see. So interestingly enough that we're doing this with y'all, when you are in your correct colors, it is not the same thing as a facelift. I don't want to say that, but
Right.
it does sort of have a lifting effect. Whereas
Absolutely.
like your worst colors kind of like accentuate
you
all
down.
of those
Bring you
wrinkles
down,
and
yeah.
Yeah.
sagging and all of that. This is another color. Actually, his husband used to love to wear this color. He is an autumn, but he is not a true autumn. He's a deep autumn. So this is another color that is not going to be good on Brandon because it's just washes him out and
Yeah.
just not his thing.
Yeah.
So that's basically it. So I can show you his best metal is silver.
This is the thing that is so crazy, in
Right.
which, look how crazy this is.
And so I do tell people, I mean, wear whatever you want. Like if you
Right.
want to wear mixed metals, that's fine. He does love gold. And so he was a little perturbed at me for a few months because he loved all of his gold jewelry. And I was like, you can still wear it. But pale gold is going to be better on him than like a really dark gold because it's still
Silver.
bright. But silver is
Yeah.
everything.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, so let me show y'all.
So, Brandon, how did this affect your wardrobe and your style? Does that make sense? 'Cause
Or just your hate for Rachel. I don't know.
We weren't friends for a couple of months.
It did change. Like I mentioned to y'all earlier, I like white. I like off-white, tans. I have a lot of that, or I had a lot of that color. And like she said, you can wear whatever color you want, but I noticed when I put it on, I look sick. I look
Right.
washed out. So it's back to the closet and finding
now,
something else.
are you a man that wears like a lot of suits and more formal dress? Or are you more casual? Like, does that make sense? Like, does this impact Rachel more? Like, we were talking about like gowns or is this like everyday T-shirt sort of?
I
Is
think
that-
you can apply it to everything.
To
So
everything.
I
Okay.
am typically someone who is more dressed up than dressed
Right.
down, but I used that sweatshirt example because I actually did throw on a sweatshirt in one of my best colors and I didn't have makeup on.
Right.
I was taking selfies in the car like, oh my God, I look so
Right.
good in this.
Right.
I'm not a take a selfie without makeup kind of girl. And I
Right.
took the selfie and sent it to my friend whose store I got the sweatshirt at. I was like, look how great this looks on me today. And I'm not even wearing a stitch of
Right.
makeup. So, I mean, I guess it just kind of depends on your vibe. But I mean, I feel like for special events, maybe that's the great place to start because if you know that you're going to spend a lot of money on a ball gown, you
Right.
want to look really great, you want to look pulled together.
Right.
Typically, ball gowns are going to have a much broader range of colors than just clothing comes out seasonally. So when autumn is out, autumn is the color tones that are out.
Right.
But you can still find your colors every season. So
Right.
I think it just kind of depends on what your vibe is.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so I want to show y'all this because these are the colors that he used to love. So this was kind of where he lived. And these are gorgeous colors. I'm not poo-pooing the autumn colors. I think they're beautiful. But if you know that his colors are actually these colors, like that's so much better.
You look real fun in that one.
He does. I know. So this is kind of his sweet spot, all of the blues because his eyes are so pretty. But these are
That
all
is
cool
so
undertone.
cool.
You're
Yeah.
gonna be killing it at Easter.
Can you show it again? So explain. So that's what
These
he
are
used to
autumn.
love is autumn.
This is what he used to love to wear. So
Okay.
he had burgundy suits and olive green pants, and you
Right.
can wear whatever you want on the bottom. That's not really
Right.
that big of a deal. And so that was kind of my compromise with him. And it's like he has a suit that's like
Like a darker brown.
one of these kind of colors, maybe like a burgundy. And I just told him like pair it with like a pink shirt. That's closest to your face, and you can still wear your burgundy suit.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know.
And ties too, right? For a man, if
Absolutely.
you're wearing ties, it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these are all of the colors that he used to want to live in, and now when he's with me, he has to wear his right colors.
It's like a job requirement. Like during the interview process.
Day
During
one,
the
on your
interview
first day, we
process,
do your
like,
color analysis.
You walk
and
through
you're
the
not
door,
allowed to
son, you need to go
deviate.
change a shirt.
1000%. Like, how do you expect to design if you're wearing the wrong season?
All
No,
of my
thank
suits
you.
are now in my color palette. The
Okay.
only thing I haven't switched over are my tuxedos.
Okay. Yeah,
Still
that's.
wearing
I think
black
it makes.
for that.
What? How about ties and shirts? So do you?
Don't really wear a lot of ties.
You don't. Okay, I didn't know if you. Okay, if you're more formal or more of a.
Okay,
casual.
what color tuxedo would you get?
Yeah.
Out of the, I mean, he could pick. Look, how gorgeous
Yeah,
would
that
a
would be-
tuxedo
that
would
would
be
be a
in
good
that
one.
color.
Yeah.
That's the other thing too is every season gets its own navy. So like a winter navy is going to be that really, really deep sapphire navy, whereas like my navy has a little bit more green in it because I'm a spring.
It's
and it
crazy how
needs to
much
be
of a difference.
warm.
Like I have a couple of navy suits, and just that slight
Yes.
shade makes a tremendous difference.
Okay, but think
in-
about
in
that
look.
too. It's the same with paint. Like
Yes.
Like we kind of forget, like when you go and stand in front of that big wall of paint in the store and you're looking at just the whites, there's 35,000 shades of white. It's kind of the same with this. So it's not, that's why I was so intrigued by all of this and why I wanted to start doing it, because it just, I hate to say this, but like, it's a more instant gratification than a design project. I love our design clients and I'll never stop that. I love it's very rewarding. But an hour to change someone's life as opposed to 3 years to change someone's life is like, it's kind of more instant gratification for me. And then the other thing I wanted to do was show y'all kind of the difference between my colors, his colors, and the colors he was wearing. So these are mine. These are spring.
Ew.
Oh, this is spring.
That's spring. This is summer. That's Brandon. And then this is autumn, which is what he was wearing.
What's a winter?
I didn't bring it.
Is that when is that darker colors?
Those are going to be like those more jewel tones. So if you think
like you're outside of the circle.
but cooler.
Got it.
So if you can see the difference between these three.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So one more time, go through them, Rachel.
Autumn, summer, spring. So this is what Brandon was wearing.
Right.
Also, I should point out, I actually had my colors done first by someone who I don't think was very good, who told me I was a soft autumn. I mean, if you can believe it, soft is somewhere between these two, and this is what I'm supposed to be wearing.
Okay.
So they were very muted, toned down, kind of powdery, dull colors, which is not my personality either. So that's kind of interesting that you brought that up. Like if somebody's personality is one way, that's why I think it does kind of have a little bit to do with your personality. But anyway, these are my colors. These are Brandon's colors. These are what he was wearing.
Have you stuck to your palette now pretty much?
Like glue.
Really?
Really?
Do you want to know the only time I didn't was for Best Dress? That's not in my palette, but I wore it because that was a moment where it needed to be
What color was it?
It was kind of a
Oh, she had two
magenta.
fabulous dresses.
I'm gonna wear that other one for something else, but the one I wore on stage was kind of a magenta color, probably technically for a winter. But the thing that winters and springs share is brightness, and so that's kind of why I was able to lean a little bit more that way for an event like that, because it's
I mean, blonde. It was like
Yeah.
a pop of color for her. It was beautiful. But you pretty much have changed everything to be in your palette.
I have purged more clothing. And that's the other thing is that like now when I shop, I am not buying everything because it's on sale, because I'm like, oh, that's not my palette. I don't need that. And the temptation, I'm a shopper, y'all, like big time. So like if something's on sale and it's not in my palette, I just skip it. Like I don't need it. And so it's kind of helped with that. Now, the difference is that I did have my colors done around spring and the stores were full of my colors at the moment. So I was like, I need all of these things. So I've purged a whole bunch of stuff. I've sold a bunch of stuff. I've given stuff away.
That's so cool.
But yeah.
Can you go back to the metals?
Yeah,
so
I know that's the thing that
is
gets
that
me.
also apply? Because I know it sounds, but I was when I was looking at it, I was looking at like you wearing a silver shirt, which is but it's more like metal,
It's jewelry.
right?
It's
like jewelry, correct?
Specifically, it's going to be more like earrings or necklaces.
Okay.
I think if it's on your hands, wear whatever you like best.
Okay.
Again, wear whatever you like best closest to your face. But if you are thinking about, especially for women, a lot of times you'll find gowns in this color gold.
Yes.
So I'll use me as an example. This is not now I have makeup on, so this is not going to be a great example, but this is my gold, which is the light, bright gold. This would probably be okay because it's still warm, but it's going to be too dark and drab. Like you can imagine someone with like beautiful dark skin, dark hair, like that would be beautiful. Now, what's not going to ever work on me is this kind of like a pewter color because I'm too...
Yeah, that gold that you said is yours is beautiful. Yeah. So were you that gold in your jewelry?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I do
like
have
buying
some stuff
Elizabeth
that's
jewelry, like a nice piece of jewelry.
Okay, well, no, I do have
It's
an
like you
opinion
should
about
look
that, though.
She's like, wait, I'm sorry, hang
If
on.
you're gonna buy I just think you should buy platinum. That's just a personal, like, if you're to buy a really nice piece, I just think it should be platinum. That's just a me thing. That's not a
color thing.
Write that down.
I need to take that.
Write that down. Do you find, Taylor, that you wear more one color metal than another?
I think my nicer things are silver or platinum, but my fun costume jewelry is gold.
It's gold. But I feel like when I got married, everybody had platinum, everybody had these rings, and when I chose yellow gold, I was like the only person out of all of my friends that have.
Yeah, but now it's
No,
you're
it's
ahead
not.
of trend.
I know.
Goes, I think the color of gold goes back and
It does.
white gold
Goes back and forth.
It's just like class rings,
Right.
Like gold class rings, platinum.
So
white
as a
gold.
disclaimer, that's why I say I would do platinum, because I feel like it's the one that's always,
Yes.
Always
it's
there.
kind
Always
of like
there.
not in
Yeah.
a trend cycle ever. It's
Right.
always there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm like. I felt like it was almost like a weird feeling.
Yeah.
Like everybody has.
So similar to in interiors, polished nickel and satin nickel was very, very big, and then brass came back. And so what I've tried to do is always like include some polished nickel because I feel like it's the platinum of the interior finishes. So like in bathrooms and kitchens, a lot of times I'll do polished nickel because, you know,
It's gonna stay.
It never really
brass
goes
can
away.
kinda go-
No, it's
right,
gonna stay
brass
there.
can kind of go in
It
and
may
out.
not be hip, but it's never
right. It's
goes
not
away.
right. Exactly. But I mean, I do still love like gold fixtures and
Yeah.
Yeah. A pop.
Like
Like your
for sure.
staples or that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so pretend like somebody watching is interested. How do they even begin this process?
I don't know, but I'm so excited. I think we should do this.
Yeah, what do? You have
So they can message us on Instagram. They can either, it's RCL Interiors, or they can email us info@rachelcannonlimited.com and just say that they're interested in color analysis, and we'll take it from there.
So they just come in.
I love that.
And it's a 1-hour consult. Come in plain.
Plain. That's why I chose Brandon today, so that no woman had to show her face without makeup.
Well, it's a great example.
I
And
was
then
so close to not putting makeup
let's
on.
take
should
this off
they
too,
bring? Do people bring clothes that they love?
But
They
look
think-
how good he looks.
You
Look
don't
at-
want any
Yeah.
input from them, right? Come in plain
I
Jane.
do sometimes ask for them to bring some of your favorite pieces of clothing so that because a lot of times people are kind of holding on to stuff
Yeah,
that they're like,
yeah.
I can't make this work, and I've tried and I've
Yeah.
tried and I've tried, and we have been able to like, oh well, why don't you just pair this shirt with the blazer that's in your color palette? But then sometimes people are like, that's not in my palette, don't worry about it, I don't want it
Yeah.
anymore, you know? Yeah.
Huh.
So interestingly enough, now that we've taken the bonnet off, you
Yeah.
can see like since he doesn't color his hair, his natural hair color actually is
That's a
perfect on
natural
him.
hair? That's
Yeah,
good.
it's actually perfect for his coloring.
Very into hair. I'm
But
struggling
that's
up
why
here.
we say
I
it
need
doesn't
more hair. I'm very
change.
jealous of your hair.
That's why we say it doesn't change as you age because that's why we cover your hair. So even if your hair goes totally white, your colors will stay the
okay, that's
same
right, okay.
Yeah.
your whole life. But so something that I keep seeing on TikTok is that your natural hair color is your best hair color. I'm going to add a little caveat to that. I think probably your natural hair color when you were a little kid. So, 4, 5, 6, that's usually like when your hair is going to be its brightest and most brilliant. So if you're a woman and you went from like I did from like very blonde to sort of a dirty dishwater blonde, I just don't like how that looks on me. And so that's why I've always like colored my hair and highlighted it. But that's what I was when I was a kid.
So
Yeah.
you mentioned, talk about relating hair to the color palette. Is that kind of broad? Because you mentioned like highlights. You had an employee that. So how do you?
Well, I thought it
instruct your-
didn't matter.
No, it does matter.
Well, I do. I've
It
given
doesn't matter
feedback.
with what kind of.
It does?
Yeah, it matters in how you look and how your hair looks. See, but you got to follow your
You do.
your season, right?
You do.
So how do you instruct people to
for
go to their
example,
hairdresser?
With Mia, I told her
what's that?
like, her highlights were just a little bit too sort of orangey golden. Since she's actually a muted summer, which is a summer sort of like a step down from Brandon, so like even darker, even sort of more subdued. These colors look like it makes her eyes look as blue as these walls whenever she has those colors on. But her highlights were very golden, and so that's leaning on the other end of the warm to cool spectrum.
Right.
So for her, if she wants highlights, they would need to be more of like an ash blonde. Yeah. So like we go through all of
She a
that.
summer?
She's a muted summer.
Ha,
So it's
see?
not
Hair.
true summer. It's
Ash.
muted summer. Yeah.
Oh, so once you have your color
Yes.
palette.
Yes.
When you go to your stylist, then you can say,
Correct.
I need this color.
Correct.
Because it's amazing. Like,
Yes.
obviously my mom's older, but like, her hair color changes like subtly, but like sometimes you're like, wow, looks great. And other times you're like,
Yeah.
oh, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's important.
That's a choice.
Yeah.
No, I know, but
Okay, that
it's
makes
amazing.
sense.
I think how much hair color can contribute.
Yeah.
And
It does.
especially as we all get
I had
older.
another client that she's a light summer, and she had just gotten more golden highlights. And I was like, oh, I feel like maybe your hair's a little too yellow. She's like, and I just did it. And I was like, well, just go back to what you're doing before. It's fine. Like, it can be corrected, you know. And then I had another client recently that was a deep autumn who is going gray and was actually getting, I don't know how this works if you're going gray, but she was getting highlights to kind of blend a blonde into the gray or something like that. Blonde is not for her at all.
Really?
And
Yeah.
so I was like, yeah, I think if you're going to do anything with your hair, just color it brown. Like,
Yeah.
that's kind of where it needs to be.
So once you do the initial consult, are you like reconsulting?
Absolutely. We're always so we've done personal shopping date. Like people are like, I've cleaned out my closet and now I don't have any clothes. And so I go shopping with them and like put outfits together and show them how to style everything.
How
and,
fun.
Okay.
Yeah. We did makeup. We went to
I don't know
Ulta,
how to
did all the
style.
makeup.
Really? Hair? You need a hair? Can you go with the hair? I need a.
I have cut hair, but that's not my occupation.
Yeah, I know, but
I used to do it in study hall in high school.
But that's I mean that's another point that you just said. Makeup.
Yeah.
makeup
colors.
is huge.
Yeah.
Makeup colors, because people are wearing like the wrong
Yeah.
color
'Cause
blush or the wrong color lipstick.
We did
right?
this on a man, but it is a little deceptive
Yeah.
because I assume we're not wearing any makeup today, like you said. So women,
Just a little
right? But women are almost always in makeup. So it is, I think. I mean, that's like it's like a good pair of glasses or like shoes. Like it's always on your body.
Right.
It's a huge choice.
It is.
It's like hair
well,
color.
and the other thing is like we think like you're saying blush and lipstick. We think about those two things, but your foundation, like that's
Yes,
the
your
starting
foundation
point.
especially.
So there's warm, neutral, and cool foundations, and so I ask them to bring all of that when they come in, and we go over it and we swatch it all. And I've told them like this is probably a little bit too peach. And I'll give them advice on like when you go shop, this is what you need to look for. But I would actually rather go shopping with them because I just understand the colors part of it. And so if we can just revamp your makeup together, I'm happy to do that with you. Yeah. It's fun for me. This is like
Life changing.
Taylor, I think we should do this. I know
We're gonna
you-
have
I-
new teeth and new colors
Oh my
after
gosh.
today.
New teeth,
Y'all's
new
list
color.
of things to do.
My
Y'all have
gosh.
a long list.
Oh my God. If
Every time we talk
get-
to somebody, I think we're gonna do this.
I'm like, if we get a neck lift, we are unstoppable.
oh wait, put me on that bandwagon too.
I'm like, you
time.
will not, me and Taylor taking over the world with our teeth, colors, and neck lifts. No, I mean, this is, I feel like this
Wow.
is so life-changing for so many people who are wearing the wrong color.
Yeah.
It is. I will tell you, the client that I went shopping with, this was like right before Christmas. She's precious. She's this tiny little petite thing. She's lost all this weight, and we're the same age, and she's just like, she just expressed to me, we went on this family vacation, and I hired this photographer to take pictures. And she's like, I just hated how I looked in every single one. I hate for anybody to feel like that. Like I want everybody to feel amazing, and oh my God, my outfit is the cutest it's ever been. And so, like I said earlier, I realize that some people might think that this is like silly, but for some people, it really is like a
Life-changing
It
thing.
is. And especially women in their 40s. Like I'm in my late 40s now. And so there's all kinds of things that start a little fun and new things every day that you wake up that you didn't know
But you have to
yesterday.
buy into that and believe there is science behind this. You started
Absolutely.
out saying that.
Yeah.
And it really matters.
It does.
I mean,
It's all rooted in the same business that all of us are in.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's a confidence business that
confidence.
we're in.
Absolutely.
And I mean, all of us, from the colors, from the house, from the design,
Yeah.
from what we're doing within aesthetics and how we feel with like hormones, it's all in the business of confidence that I
Yeah.
think is so important. And I think there are so many people that are looking for that confidence and maybe they don't know where to start
Yeah.
or how to find it. And starting with something as simple as this, like when you go to the store and you buy clothes in your color palette,
Well,
that's like an amazing, like, quick start.
Yeah.
This is where you can go to be feeling your best self.
Your life is a series of decisions, right? Clothes and like this is guiding you
Yes.
in one of the most basic decisions of how do I clothe my naked body? You know?
Exactly.
how do I
and
put-
buying nice suits
how do I
and
put
nice, you
makeup?
said tuxedos. That's
Yeah.
an investment.
Yeah.
Yes.
And gowns. That's
Yeah.
I mean, having somebody to kind of.
Something that I found very interesting is that I actually spend more time talking about the science of color to my color analysis clients than I do to my design clients. Because by the time I'm showing them the paint color, like it's all picked. Like it's all, they come in for a presentation, everything is chosen, and like these just happen to be the paint colors that work with everything.
Yeah.
So we really don't spend a lot of time talking about like value and intensity and saturation, none of that. And I've spent more time talking about it with my color analysis
That's so
clients than with
good.
my-
Well, that's because I feel like when I was building my house, by the time we got to all that, I was just like, I don't care. I was like, just
And they trust
something.
you.
Yeah,
Right?
it's
Yeah.
like, just
Yeah.
do
Right.
it. I don't care.
Yeah.
Somebody, please
Yeah.
make my home wonderful. Thank you.
Right.
I hear that you may be designing a houseboat on
From
Bell
your
River.
lips to God's ears, sister.
So awesome.
How is it yours?
No, but mine, no.
I'm like, is it one of your random
One of my
boats?
random houses.
So good.
Random boats?
No.
Okay, so obviously anyone who is interested in wanting to find out what their colors are, y'all send Rachel a message, get on that schedule, get that confidence in everything that you're wearing. It'll make you feel so good, which is, like I said, that is what all of us are in the business of, is making you feel your best self.
That's right.
So I definitely think this is something, Taylor, we have to do it.
Yep.
We're going to do it. I
Say
know
it
you
again.
hate.
Rachel Cannon.
It's Instagram is at RCL Interiors.
RCL Interiors.
And if you want to email us, it's info@rachelcannonlimited.com, and you guys spell it all out.
All right.
I love that.
and we can put it at the bottom.
Yeah,
Right?
you just put it there. All right, guys, remember, follow us on all those platforms, subscribe,
Subscribe below.
like, make sure you're listening to us on whatever platform you get your podcast. Make sure you're following us on social media and everything. Always stay curious, always stay informed, and remember to always consult before you cut. We'll see you guys next week.